Patriot Campers, we're going international. Right beside me you'll see the next step for the company, our first LC79 Supertourer. We've just finished the build, we're about to put it back in the container and ship this one off to Mongolia. Now the first hurdle that we had to overcome when starting this build was obviously we needed a left-hand drive from Mongolia. So we sourced the truck out of Dubai, shipped it into Brisbane and began the build. Now if you're like me, when you think of Mongolia, you're probably going to think about things like Genghis Khan or nomads on horseback. But look, Mongolia is a thriving country and they've got areas like the Gobi Desert, which crosses into China. They've got massive ice fields where the boys go out ice fishing, lush tropical forests. Now we've built Bayara and Tamir the ultimate truck to go and explore their land. The truck had to be unleaded. Now in Australia, we love our diesels, and same in the States. But the problem these guys have got over there, they got sub 30°C temperatures. They have big problems, I'm told, with diesel freezing in the fuel lines, so unleaded is the vehicle of choice over there. They don't make the best power, but what we've done is we've done a few upgrades. We've given this thing an exhaust, some extractors and a uni-chip to get that power up a little bit more and turn the big 35-inch tyres. Bayara's just been back into Australia to take the car out for a shakedown with us. Now, we were planning on taking him for a run up the beach just to show him something different. Mongolia is a landlocked country, so they don't get down to the coast that much. But Bayara was adamant that he really wanted to test the limits of the truck. Now with the coil conversion, rear end, this is the thing he was most excited about. We took it down to one of our local four-wheel drive parks and we had an epic trip. Now I can tell you one thing, I know this truck's going to get used for exactly what it was built for when it gets back to Mongolia. Bayara's got a pretty heavy right foot and there wasn't much that he was scared of. Now you can see this guy was definitely experienced and he knew what he was talking about. Given the truck a 300mm chassis extension. Now that's standard on a Patriot Supertourer. Gives you a little bit more trailing and stops the 79 notorious picking up the front wheels. We fitted all the standard TJM products that we put on our Supertourer. The front bar, the brush rails and the side steps. We've also put in underbody bash guards. We've gone with the ROH 17-inch rims and 35-inch Mickey Thompson ATZs. Obviously, we've got front and rear winches. Now because of this freezing climate, there's a few modifications that we had to make as well, which we wouldn't normally do in Australia. We've installed an engine preheater into the block so the guys can warm the car up after it's been sitting out on the ice fields overnight. Now basically this is one of our standard LC79 Supertourers. There's a few items on this truck that the customer was really specific on and he had to have. Being a left-hand drive vehicle, it presented quite a few challenges for us. Now this is a model we don't get in Australia, so we can't buy parts off the shelf. Put the team to work and there's a lot of custom products that have been put onto this truck just to accommodate the different engine model and a lot of products not fitting simply because the steering wheel's on the opposite side. Full EFS makeover has been done to the suspension. It's exactly the same as what's in my black truck. We got almost 5 inches of lift. The coil conversion kit matched up with the suspension from EFS that we've put a lot of R&D into is the ultimate four-wheel drive solution for a Landcruiser 79 series. A safari snorkel's been fitted to this truck and again, this was the customer's request. We've also put on power-controlled clear view mirrors. Another issue we ran into with this truck is obviously in Australia, we don't get petrol models. So we had to custom design the main fuel tank and the sub tank. Now we've got 250 litres in the truck and the boys at Brown Davis fabricated the tanks up for us. One of the biggest issues that we ran into this truck was the whole braking system. Now these trucks are a non-ABS and the overseas models actually comes with a drum rear end in it. So we converted all that back to disc, we put in a bigger brake booster, master cylinder, and we've also installed cross-drilled and ventilated rotors and some better brake pads. In the engine bay, we've got a second battery and a Red Arc BC-DC 1225. Up the front, we've installed a hot water shower kit. We've put in 2 pumps, one will draw from the water tank that's on board and the other one will draw from a creek or a bucket in the front of the truck. One of the things I'd really love to do with one of these trucks is put one of our V8 diesels in it. Now if we're going to do one for overseas again that's going to maybe a different climate where the freezing temperatures aren't really as much of a problem, that's something that we could offer our customers as well. Now the interior's had the full Patriot treatment. Now we keep everything nice and clean in the console. All of the switches, everything at your fingertip. You've got your BMS display up the front for what's running in the back of the Canopy. Now, with the overseas model, you say you've got a little bit of wood grain, a little bit flasher on the interior, but you've got a really handy screen up the front as well. Now that screen we've hooked up the reverse camera to. Now it does feel a little bit odd sitting on the left-hand side, but basically the interior is the same as the Australian delivered model. You get a couple of extra features and a couple of less features as well. You don't get any airbags. And look, when it first turned up, I wasn't a big fan of this colour, but now that we've put our Patriot spin on it, added a little bit of black and put in some of the gear that we have in my 79, this interior's turned out great. We started off stripping out the interior and we sound deadened the whole inside exactly the same as we did on my black truck. Now we put in the Recaro Cross Sports to seats. These ones have got electric heating in them. We've got a reverse camera up front, a full Fusion stereo system with custom door cards. We've got our custom console, which we've got trimmed in the colour to match the rest of the interior. And we've got a custom overhead console as well, which houses all of our switches, some LEDs. The controllers are sitting here in the console for both the heaters, the engine preheater and the heater behind the back seat. Something everybody's going to notice about this truck that's a little bit different to anything else that we've built before is the full-size canopy on the back. We've actually had a couple of attempts at canopies in the past, but we've never really been sorted with the design. But finally, I think we've got it. This is the first full-size canopy that's now available as an option on a Patriot Supertourer. Now we haven't gone with the full length. We wanted to keep the spare wheels still on the tray. We didn't want them hanging over the back. This canopy here will go on either the 79 or the 200 series Supertourer. We spent a lot of time on the hinge design of the doors on this truck. Now there's two seals there, so it'll ensure when the doors are open and it does start raining, you're not going to get any water coming inside your canopy. They're going to run off the gutters down the side. We've got twin drawers that's usually on the driver's side. Obviously it's back to front on this truck. And we've got all the battery, electrical system and the water system hidden underneath the floor. This truck here's got the Red Arc BMS 1230 with the 30 amp charger, a Revolution lithium battery. Now obviously this has got the Patriot Supertourer body. The body's got tons of storage inside it and a big pull-out rear drawer. Now obviously canopies are not a new thing, they've been around for a long time. But what we've done is we've come up with a new concept once again. The design on this side is completely modular. There is a full kitchen, the customer wanted 2 fridges, but you can option this however you like. Congratulations. So good. Yeah, you happy? Yeah? Good. So there it is, our first international build. Now we've had a lot of inquiry over the years on getting these trucks overseas, but now we've broken the ice. If you want any more information, contact us at patriotcampers.com.au.